Hello and welcome back to Europa Universalis. We are continuing on with the Grand Greek Order. We've moved up into rank 15, climbing 10 slots. I think in the last video, we've set up a ton of colonial nations. Over here, we have Manhattan, we have the Avalon, we have Pensacola, as well as Atapakaru, Paraguana, and Esquibio. Oh, these are all republics. Interesting. I guess as colonial charters, they're always republics. We've basically been just taking over the entire New World. England has showed up, and we have started meeting some of the indigenous people. So we have explorers going all along the coast to try and block out anyone else from gaining any more territory here. Those are sort of our big goals. Santiago is short on tools. Guayanabo is short on glass. How do I get this guy to make more glass? That's what I want to know. I suppose I could subsidize that building. I think it just needs more people. We need to get some promotion speed going on here. A university would do that, though that seems kind of over the top. A cathedral would give us more migration. Which is not a bad idea. Sunni missionaries have come to settle down in Grand Bassam to found a new community for themselves and their converts, cooperating with local authorities and do not oppose our rule, but their presence will likely lead to their religion spreading quickly. I don't think so, buckaroos. I'm going to take that 10 devotion. I am maxed out on devotion right now. Hells yeah. That's very good. That gets us more great power score. It's also just going to cut down on rebels big time. And this guy's been strengthening the government, which is giving us +1 devotion. I see how it is. I'm going to have him start stabilizing the country instead, which he's got a purple rank towards. I will then have to put a bunch of money back into here, but that seems like it's a worthwhile endeavor. If we could become more stable and we are super devout, everything sort of works out gravy for us. Boy, man, money is flowing in fast and good right now. In the Athenan market, why don't we just like crank up some more RGOs here? Because again, my belief is like the richer our homeboys back home are, the more they will just start building whatever is required. And all of this is making like decent money for free. RGOs, so many. Get 3 weeks until you get to see what the government won't let you look at because I refuse to hand over the government issue ID to prove I can handle using the internet. No internet allowed. You know the rules. Can't have any internet. Yeah, this does feel like I probably don't want a bigger colonial power than this because they're going to start moving inland as well. So I think I will make a separate colonial power here. Probably starting in there somewhere. What about natural harbor suitability? There's a natural harbor here in whatever that place is. There could be a decent natural harbor right here, it looks like. Bermuda has fulfilled its role and become its own colony. Oh, I got a question. What zone do you count as? The Sargasso Sea. The North Atlantic Ocean. You truly are your own unique thing. Old Bermuda, you are a garbage town. You're also in an earthquake zone. I don't even know if I want a settlement here. Maybe a fishing village? It's been cored. Nobody wants to live in Bermuda. I can't imagine why. 1,000 gold gods. I could be making roads. I could be making roads and roads. Roads and roads and roads and roads. But I don't feel the rush on that. You're making a colony. Are you also colonizable? Not yet. So this is cool. You can actually colonize all of this, but you've got to do it like step by step. Ooh, Naples and Bulgaria are in war with each other. Naples is trying to take Tarnovo. Dude, I gotta be honest. I don't love that. Mostly because I'd love it if the Tarnovan market got destroyed. This is really funny. We're actually the most powerful merchant in the Dubrovnik market. And we're almost the most powerful in the Genovan market. We're beating out the tiniest bit by Tuscany. I could make a market here in Sus and cut Morocco's power down to size. Potentially giving us like immediate access to Santiago. But I think that would probably be bad for us. It does sound very sus, yeah. I agree. Okay, you guys have two big navies down here. This is a war that they have started. Hungary, are you not guaranteeing Bulgaria at this point? I kind of thought you were. The problem I have with this is like, I don't want them to have this territory. If Hungary had it, it would be a different story. If I had it, it would be a different story. But Naples going to war with Bulgaria is not something I necessarily agree with. Especially when they already have Albania and I want Albania. Doctor, hello. Welcome. I think I'm going to decline this. I want to see what happens. It might break my alliance with Naples. Is the only problem, right? An alliance with Greece, the Papal States, Aragon, and Burgundy. Hungary's in an alliance with us and Poland. And Castile is with just us. 27, 24, 29. I mean, they're surely going to win this anyway, because they can just transport all their troops over. Yeah, alright. Alright. Any idea what my next campaign is going to be? I'm not sure yet. I most certainly owe a Age of Wonders campaign right now. Which is probably going to be like our next immediate thing. Local doctors in Santiago are paying good money to study fresh corpses. Sure, man. You can have your corpses. Why not? Glory Road. Whoa, this guy's face looks crazy. What's going on? He has like glasses on his mouth. Yeah, something's really screwed up with this character's model, Jed. That's amazing. The glass's frames look like they've gone over his mouth. His nose looks like it's like artificially transported on. He's been exploring stuff. Look at reported sporadic dwellings but no natives until at long last a coastal village in Potomac was sighted. A small force disembarked and hospitably received by Doeg villagers, something that attributed to the fascination with 3 Greek sailors who were bearded and tall. The natives were beardless, and with some difficulty they managed to communicate that their myths and legends foretold of a time that the bearded gods would come from the sea to visit them. They gifted food and treasures, which indicated that the province is prosperous and would be of great value. Thank you, Virginia. Looks like a normal human being to me. Phantom Brigade also came out 2.0. Yes, yes. Also, Void War just dropped Planetary Invasions, which I'm very curious about. Adjacent, adjacent. Are you the same charter? No, you're not. I want this land to touch. So I'm just going to create a couple charters right there. And you have explorers all along this stuff. I guess we don't have an explorer over here in Louisiana. So we'll send over another Sussibaka. And then I would love to figure out, like, what can I get going here? The answer does not seem to be RGOs. But it should be. There's not enough people for the RGOs yet. But if I build them, they will come. Just look at the RGO map here. They're gonna need lumber. They're gonna need stone. These are always like the most important things to build first, because they are what determine what you can actually build. I have not seen a lot of livestock down here, so I'm also going to boost that livestock. And then I feel like anything that's like a valuable trade good. And it's not being worked to the max. Does anywhere here make sand? That's actually a really good question. Yeah, you do. We need sand for the glass, so... Cocoa, we'll make those chilies. We'll make that tobacco. Okay. A little bit of development. Georgia. I guess building things like roads out here would also maybe be nice. We're going to temporarily lose some funds just while we deal with this war. You need to stop and recover your morale. Then you need to crush these guys. Yeah, see, the computer doesn't have guns. And I have guns. So during this bombardment phase... I still don't seem to kill anybody. And for some reason, my guns are at the front. I'm starting to wonder whether or not your guns can fire unless they're actually on the lines. Because early on, people were like, your guns can fire if they're in the back. And I just don't know that that's true. Currently, it has no target. I wonder how much I've been screwing this up by not bringing my guns out. Sun's out, guns out, you know? We're going to head into the capital and we're going to crush them, dealing 8,000 damage, absolutely just slaughtering their entire army, causing them all to surrender at once, and then we can start seizing their capital. Specific goal of this game, or is it just a general playthrough? This one has largely been, our goals have been colonize the New World, because I really wanted to see what the colonization was like, because it's our first main campaign. The ultimate goal, as the Knights Hospitalier, is to take back Jerusalem. And we're pretty close to doing that. We've been trying to set up ourselves in a position where we can make that as a fight. Right now, it's just been, we've been turbocharging our economy as much as we can, because Egypt is like the second biggest country. Ooh-wee. I'll take that prestige bump. We actually are probably pretty close to becoming an empire. 6.6 million. We need 10 million. We do not have a papal ban on empires. Huh. How do you suppose we change that? How do you suppose we change that? We own everything but Jerusalem. Peoples want food. So these guys can walk, because Burgos is not a castle, they can actually just walk right past it. So I'm gonna have to make Burgos into a town. What covers this place? Nothing? Province of Shreds. That should cover. But I guess forts only cover directly next to them. Oh, you're not needed. If that's a fort and that's a fort. Yeah, this does not need to be a fort here. Asupink. Pinnacles. That's right, there's that one last colony going in there. So the Mediterranean Trade Navy can actually park itself here. And for the low price of $400, all of these caravels can be upgraded to pinnacles. This light trade navy is going to have to do the same thing. Let's bring them all the way back to Sus to do this, though, because they also need to heal up anyway. Is Bohemia still Hussite? Yeah, they are. Big time. Ooh. Oh, yeah. Lutheranism really took off in the north. It didn't manage to get a very good hold anywhere else, which is good to see. And Orthodoxy is mostly gone. Oh, I guess we've captured this. Our cannons are really, really good now as well, so... Yeah, like we have like a +6 to capture forts. You have died. Therefore... Why are you not able to lead? You're an explorer. The Grand Master is an explorer. That is unfortunate. All right, we have maps of Maryland. Maryland. I'm going to let a few of those explorations tick through before we decide where we want to build that place. Are they in the Hussite Wars, all of Europe versus them? No, the Hussite Wars I don't think ever broke out. If your forts are outdated, armies can also go through them. Oh. Didn't know that. I mean, we don't have any better version than just castles, at least not yet, so. I'm very curious. Is this guy going to be able to take Tarnov if I own it? This I am not certain of. Oh, it costs so much for us to be at war. It's actually low-key outrageous. We're gonna have to put this guy on rebel crackdown again. These Turkish patriots are building up. God damn, Turkish patriots. Y'all gotta chill. Oh, Pergamon saves that. There's a lot of forts over here. But I guess that makes sense. It is where the Ottomans are facing us, so. Russians and Ruthenians still orc socks? Yeah. Ruthenians definitely are. Yeah, the Russians are as well. And so is Georgia. Technically also so is Bulgaria, but I don't think that's about to last, so. 1750, fully occupied Muscovy. Any forts that were tier 2 are not blocking anyone. Only their tier 4 could. Okay. Waiting on antagonism to go down so you can fully annex them. It's legit. We have a map of Quebec. It does look like England has made their way in here. What kind of goods we got up here? Fur. Interesting. Fish for fish. Where are the natural harbors up here? Oh, well, your obvious choice then. That's where we'll start. I don't know if I'll give all of this to the Avalon. I suppose I certainly could. Quebec, Labrador, Newfoundland as like a super state is a very interesting idea. Kingdom of Bulgaria has offered a peace. They will give most of this land to me. Huh. I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't want this land. I didn't get Tarnovo, but I got all this other territory.
It's all Greek to me.
It is all very Greek to us. Ooh. So they basically just gave me that. Should I? It's really funny. Yeah, they gave me the province of Tarnovo without actually giving me Tarnovo. I mean, I guess if I'm integrating Biden, I guess I'm going to absorb Bulgaria. It does seem to be what's happening right now. I'm not sure we have any easy way around it. A handful of Lutheran zealots up here, but not very many. I think the Turks are still the biggest issue. So we'll go back down and try to keep suppressing them. Marinara, how are we doing this morning, dude? Holder of the occupation is the only one that could even get the location. Yeah, that's specifically why I went for Tarnovo. I was like, I'm gonna bum rush this so that they can't beat us. Because I was worried that they would just gobble up a ton of land if I didn't. France will give me 500 bucks. Thank you, France. I'll take 500 bucks. I'll take 500 bucks any day of the week. The Chernovan market is low on food. That sounds like it's not my problem, quite frankly. Honestly, I kind of just feel like in this market, I just want to say, like, RGO builder. In... What is this market? G. Guinabo. Like, anywhere where they got extra people, why not spend a ton boosting up every RGO production I can just to empower the place? This is functionally what I've been doing in Greece. And honestly, it feels like it's working pretty well. There we go. There's like $1,000 of RGOs. That ought to make the people happy. Yeah, England is really going ham up here right now. Chick-Chock Mountains. The southern shore of Quebec. Wait, is that Montreal then? Or I guess this would be Montreal. Whoa, 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 whoa. While exploring Labrador, this guy found a nice hill with a conical top, slightly flattened at the summit. From the top, he says there's a very advantageous view over the surrounding areas, a good spot to establish a camp base and serve both as a vantage point of observation as well as an easily recognizable landmark. It's been brought to our attention that if we provide him with the resources necessary, he will construct a permanent structure there to serve as a watchtower. Yeah. Yeah, this is totally Montreal right here. Which I am inclined, as someone who lived in Montreal, to purchase. Okay, a new market in Bertua. And Labrador has been discovered. What is in Labrador? Fur, fish, wild game, and lumber. Yeah, that's pretty accurate. Also, flies. A lot of black flies. These guys are building charcoal kilns. Yeah, I mean, we have so many explorers going right now. Do I still have like 13 privateers? I do. I could hire, I tell you what, more privateers up here. Should have privateers in the Libyan Sea. Well, I guess we already have privateers over here. Just sapping the strength of everybody. Yeah, our maritime presence is crazy. Prox to capital, I think we will never get to improve over there. Just beat the hell out of the reformed Ottomans and rule the waves with an armored cruiser squadron. 4 versus 9 against the Ottomans. Nice, nice. Slaughtered the entire battle line in one action. Ottomans have retreated back to the Black Sea with the rest of their cruisers and destroyers. I love that. It's nice when you can get them to stay in the Black Sea, because then you're like, well, I have a choke point. They have to come through here, you know? Creating the cursed timeline where French Canadians are now Greek Canadians. I mean, I'll tell you, if you've ever been to Montreal, it is very largely Greek. There is a huge Greek population there. Now, our main navy has lost its commander. Let's give him naval damage done. Poor Santiago market can't seem to keep tools. So I'm wondering if I trade here. Yeah, see, this is the problem. They're just like gold and silver. You guys need tools. How many tools do you need? Not a lot. 20 would do. Santiago, Burgos. Is that our market? No. Fast Bordeaux, Genoa. I could get tools from Guanyabo. That does not seem right. Bring the tools in from Athens. Yeah, they're bringing in gold from Esquibo and then selling it to Seville. And then any additional you can make yourself. We've had a burst of administrative thought, giving us 10% efficiency of the cabinet. Love that for us. So that should start solving the tool problem. What's very confusing about this is it just looked like we had full tools, but supply of 2.4, demand of 0.45. We can't build the tools market until we have enough tools in here. Shoot, 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 shoot. So bring in those. And then so that's saying that'll bring in 0.41, which is what I need, right? And if I have full control of this market and full control of the Athenian market, this should move all of it, but it's not actually. Right? It's only moving like 0.9. Desired amount to trade 0.19. I thought I could make that bigger. So if I did that, I could then bring in tools from somewhere else. Does anybody have enough tools to do this? Doesn't really seem like it. Ah, yes, okay. come you go to 0.9 instead of a full 1? So that might do it. I find this to be very confusing, how to set like the actual amount that you want. Massive world war, right? Planning to fight lots of wars, grievances with the French English Union. Planning to litigate all of them by invading colonies. Nice. Breakaway state of Burgundy. All right, North Carolina has been discovered, which I think is maybe where the harbor... No. And Vidin has been annexed over here. That's great, because they have these 12 gold mines. We're already building between there. What about down to there? I don't know why you insist on going through Bulgaria. Maybe because it's the only place where those roads don't already exist. Actually, I think that might be exactly the reason why. So let's see what happens here with the Santiago market. Morocco has a higher trade advantage and is blocking us from getting enough access to this trade. Okay, that's annoying. So, like, that's not a good trade for us then. We still need tools. Hiya. Geocryptid, thank you for the follow, dude. Welcome to the agency. You'd think these guys could just figure out how to get in the goods that we need. What's most confusing is why can't I just bring this in from Athens, right? Surely I can. Desired amounts of trade, 0.29. 0.76. I need 4. 4.2 would do. And then you can automate anything else. Nice! Heretic in our university. Okay, so this is saying I'm still missing another 14. So I guess I need 56. 57. I'll give that a shot. I'm also no longer at war, so let's drop the army and the forts. Pump that money back into the old economy. And fingers crossed this all gets fixed out. Me saving money early game to take my hometown to town. Why is early game so slow? I understand. I mean, I literally created Avalon just because I was like, this is where I live. I want this to be our first colonial charter because this is my home. I mean, I feel like that should be part of Manhattan. Just based on the fact that they have the other sides of that, but I don't know, maybe not. I love that all the Aztecs and stuff also live in here, and I'm just like, not interested. You know what? Not interested. Naples, get out of here, dudes. So rude. There is the 20% efficiency for our cabinet that we've been working on for a while. We have finished integrating another place. Unfortunately, now we have to integrate Terranovo. But I guess that's okay. Maximum RGO's 10% is just like free money. I think at this point, I gotta start looking through this because we have global trade and we have siege artillery. So, reinforcement speed. This would give me us bastions, stockades, castles. Ah, so these are the upgraded forts. Well, that seems probably like a good idea. I don't have any pikemen, and so this is something I've been thinking about. If I'm fighting Egypt, I think I actually do need pikemen. Because Egypt's going to have horses, and if I just have guns, it's going to be a bad time. I've been learning about how pike and shot works. And the answer is generally you want some pikes. I guess also, like, fast negotiations, flintlock levies, pistoleros, monthly colonial migration 50%. Ooh. I kind of want everything in here. Let's start with that. That's a lot of research. My goal is pretty much going to be, once we're up on the military here, we're going to gear up for this fight with Egypt. We are a fair bit weaker than them. They have doubled the amount of their regulars. I guess while I've been spending all my money abroad, they've just been getting thick. Real thick daddies. Yeah, I think I'm going to go for the capital in there for this next spot. So whenever the heck that's explored. We're working on all of those, all of those, all of those. I guess Texas? Can we send someone over from next door? They could probably get everything they need. And we're picking up its land. All right, so what are some other things I could do to like help my old economy here? Some more merchant quotas down here would be good. I mean, these guys mostly just want to be trading. They do make sugar, which is like kind of a valuable good. Yeah, there's a bunch of like burger jobs here I could be giving them. They do have slave markets, but there's nobody work them. Man, honestly, maybe I just look at the old Capitale. There's a lot of people here who aren't working. This is max literacy. Let's build you. Let's also build you. You have the house on Parliament. You do need more merchant quarters. Does empower the burghers, but it also gives us a bunch of trade capacity and a million other things. So honestly, I'm going to build as many of those as I possibly can. These are a long time I've been meaning to upgrade these, so. We also do have a bunch of laborers here that aren't really doing anything. So maybe some more fiber crop production for them. See if we can keep some promotions going. And then just a ton of those merchant quarters. Someone from the UK, I kind of like some of the neat touches in the UK map. Live in a place near Saffron Weldon. Game is called Weldon and produces saffron. Historically accurate, though a little early for it. That's very fun. There are lots of little tiny things, it seems like, for that. Like, I'm from Newfoundland, and there's a special... Ooh, hidden agents. That's cool. There's actually a thing you get up here called Newfoundland Fishing Grounds, where local fish output is 200%. And you do get a unique event for being in Newfoundland as well. This is part of... Ornichu? Part of Colombia. Do I give this to a Squeebs? Trying to debate, like, what do I give to a Squeebio? And what do I give to Paraguana? Or do I make this its own little colonial nation? It does have a really good harbor. Let's do it. Let's do it. The one thing I want to make sure is that they are part of my market. You're part of Tayuna. Can I also give you my market access? They have market access. Okay, it's just that they're so close to Tayuna, I can't pull them out of it. These guys are actually part of a Squeebio's market. Ah, Saba. Glory Road. Look at it, spotted sporadic dwellings, but no natives until at long last a coastal village was sighted. Over here. A small force disembarked and was hospitably received, something attributed to the fascination of the Greek soldiers and their beards. Everybody loves our Greek beards. It's very funny. Wolfie, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the agency. We're short on naval supplies and liquor. Oh, that's just because I'm trying to build an explorer. Bit foolish of me to be doing, but... Can I discover this? Technically, yes, but not really. Need to be closer to it. These guys are on crushing rebels, yeah. $122,000. Lutherans also a bit of an issue. Orthodox also a bit of an issue. If I get my stability up, maybe we can solve this. I don't know why my devotion has started tanking. Fresh ruler. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. Gonna pump up the Athens market a bit more with our RGOs. There's another 10%. We just got 10% on RGOs, so that's basically 10% to our economy as a whole. Oh, I can just mass expand RGOs. Oh, that's a good button. I don't know, I could just do that. Cool. That's a way easier way to build when your economy starts getting this big. Noted. French-coded US, which controls everything. Japan occupying Alaska. I love when my two kids are slow and idiot. Makes me feel proud. Good thing I'm a republic. Yeah, I definitely feel that way. I definitely feel that way in general, being a theocracy, where I'm just like, oh, my kids are useless, or my heir is useless. It doesn't really matter. Oh, he died? Not really a big deal. I'm not going to sweat about it. So these guys are finally getting tools. They have a lot of things they're trying to build right now, so I'm going to let them just keep importing tools for the meantime. You guys are fine. I've slowed things down by making that person. You guys are building stuff up. Manhattan is not really building a lot, which is... I don't love. I'm going to give him an order stronghold. As well as a temple and a monastery. Virginia! We found Virginia. NASA mod. There we go. That's perfect. Yeah. So I want to colonize out all of this. The goal is just to try to make sure that that place goes first. Which I don't necessarily know that we did, but... I just don't want Manhattan getting any bigger. Jeez, we got so many charters going. But our trade network has gone up to 488 here. Like, it's absurd how much money it's starting to make. I definitely see where the value comes in. Okay. What do you guys want to do? Shipbuilding facilities. This would build us dry docks in a lot of locations and give us bonus to sailors. Cheaper forts. Build a university in Thuranda. I mean, I like that gives me monthly research progress. While this issue is being debated, we get 50% crown power. What's interesting about that is if you give yourself 50% crown power, it's suddenly a lot cheaper to revoke laws or privileges. Where are these guys getting all this from? Plutocracy, trade income. Yeah, okay, so the burghers are becoming super empowered because the trade is so nuts. And this is becoming super powerful because we have so many clerics. Which, like, you know, not overly surprising. I still have strict censorship on as well. Boop, 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 boo. Do I want to pull any of this then? I mean, no censorship would be nice. Yeah, see, these cost like so much to revoke. This traditionalist one is not very good for us. Because we are mostly innovative. It makes stability more expensive, but increases like our literacy and our cultural influence. Honestly, I would not hate getting rid of religious literacy rights. We could do something crazy like get rid of military orders, which would allow us to technically stop being a military order. But I also love that, so... This gives us literacy, which is ironic, but, you know, becoming more innovative gives everybody literacy. I don't know that 50% is really going to make the difference there. Don't I also need to... Right, if I want a war deck with Egypt, but I don't want to do that yet. We don't have the army for it. Fighting Japan and the Dutch, the French-English Union, and the Ottoman. That's a lot of people to be fighting at once. University is always good, though. See if we can get one going. Take some spiritualist values. And it's good as done. Okay. Great. Spending a bit of money on food back home. I guess we could go for something like another RGO run. We got clay pits, local shrines, paved roads. I think a big thing is like I very rarely actually just build regular buildings. These guys have started a new market up here, which is really unfortunate because it's going to screw with my market in Newfoundland really badly. And this is a market capital right here outside of Manhattan. Yeah, you guys are really going to struggle if that's your market center. What I should really do is build things like an entrepot. You need a wharf. But this will give us like 10% market attraction. Nobody's even working in this market warehouse because we got no burgers. I'm going to put a cathedral in here. Town demands a seat in the Curia. No. Goof. England really beat me out here for Quebec. They are making a strong push for colonization in the north, so... They don't have either of these yet, so I might be able to pull them before they can. Just try to keep them out as much of this territory as possible. We could canonize a saint. I'm starting to wonder whether or not we might want to at this point, because I'm starting to play a bit more of the prestige game now that we're getting a bit bigger. I mean, there's money to be had in there. I think let's just focus on getting these colonies all up and running. They're going to struggle to push down any further. Dude, my capital is just constantly losing people. I think I'm migrating way too much. We got our university. Admiral of our transport fleet. Can I say like shows characters that are saints? Oh wow. Admiral. Oh yeah, cool. I gotta use these filters more. Right, like ideally this guy's a transport fleet, so like the only thing that really matters to him is speed. Naval maintenance he could also take, but I guess ship repair is fine. It's possible they could get damaged up a little bit. Oh my god, also we upgraded all of these. We upgraded all of these ships, and I have not sent them back out to patrol at all. So these guys are meant to patrol here, 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 here. I think. I'm actually going to rename these guys to like the Carib Trade Navy. Originally it was light and medium, but now I'm just like, this is Carib, this is Mediterranean. Yeah, and I need like $400 to get these guys up and running. Jeez, I've just been sitting there with my fleets in dock for forever. Now I even have cranky burgers to deal with. Reinforcement speed. Yeah, we have a lot of cranky people. A lot of charters. Mostly along America, and then exploring the rest of what we're missing. I guess I don't mind if England has a pocket. It's not really much I can do about it, so. Boom. Gain a new work of art. See, it feels like that's the kind of thing that you should have a pop-up about. To be like, hey man, you just made a cool new piece of art. Do you want to learn about it? Let me tell you, it sucks. It was made in Greece, and it has no value. Meanwhile, we've been finding all of these crowns and jewels over here. And they're masterpieces. Wow. Just looting and pillaging over here. A lot of regalia in the New World. Who would know that there was so much to loot and pillage? You've discovered South Carolina. More nice harbors. More colonial charters. More people to move over. Again, I'm doing some like major bankrupting with all the colonial charters, but it's like pay the price now and it goes back up afterwards, so. Detailed maps of the Mississippi and Alabamers. See, I'm shocked that I'm not running into more indigenous groups. I really thought I would have. You can join Order Chew. You're a colony. You can be a colony. And you can be a colony. In a moment. I mean, thing is you need like crazy funds just to get the colonies, just to get the charters up and running. Prince Edward Island and Georgia both discovered. PEI is shockingly not taken yet. So I guess we'll start that. We'll probably give that to the Avalon. I think the Avalon I'll give this as well. It can come from Byzantium. Just dropping everyone in from Greece, as many people as we can. Who's got money for me? Lots of people do. Let's take it from France. Extra $500. So yeah, I said I was gonna make Ushuet a colonial charter. So yeah, I could give PEI, I could give this island to the Avalon. Let these guys kind of work inland. Maybe I'll give them more of the coastline here too. There are a handful of places out this way that I want to move. I guess your capital is here, so why don't we have you guys go out in this direction? As much as we reasonably can. That's being explored, and that's also being explored. God, there's always so much to grow, isn't there? All right, colonial charters everywhere. I have 21 colonial charters running right now. That seems like it might be a little excessive. Could just be me, but I feel like that's a little excessive. Okay. You guys are trying to deal with all of these patriots. Yeah, I mean, there's a never-ending pile of stuff to do over here. I like trying to let your estates build. I like that it's like as you don't tax them too badly. Or at least as they stay happy, they will continue to keep building stuff. Now, mostly, they just want to build things to give themselves more power. Which, like, you know, it's fair. Though sometimes I wish they'd do other things. Pepsicow. Pepetskow. I wanted this one to be done first. Yeah, this was kind of a bit of my worry, is that things would build here in the wrong order. I can now build bastions. We discovered Louisiana. Not great natural harbors, but some good locations. Start working over there soon-ish. Naples is at war with Vungu again. I mean, I'll help you, but I'm not paying all this maintenance. So a bastion is different than a castle. But I guess it replaces the castle building. Whew, 645 gold. Holy smoking backsides. Starting to think about like where we need to be building troops to. We gain patriotic curriculum, Navy morale, or we gain maintenance, naval damage taken. I guess naval damage taken. I just try to get a few more armories up and running over here too to increase our maximum manpower pool. Ushat, you, I wanted to be a colony. Form a new colonial subject. Nice. And we have maps of Texas. So that's still colonizing. That's still colonizing. That could go up further, but I'm not going to worry about it. This section's not, but I guess I can't give it away while we're at war. So, okay. Occupied? Are you at war? Huh. They're going to war with the indigenous tribes. I gotta tell you, not something I anticipated them doing. Where do they have population over here? Poof, not in a lot of places. Manhattan's their capital, but it's not super populated. Montauk has a decent amount of population. Oh, I guess these are all towns, right? So I could build armories in like any number of these locations over here. I guess I like the idea of an armory being out in this little spot. Just give them a bit more manpower. Nothing like arming the Americans. That's never gone bad for anybody, right? Always a net positive. Sorry, I have the bubonic plague going on. Uh-oh. Is this a new bubonic plague? I have been smart enough to build a few hospitals in my time. But I wouldn't necessarily say that I've built enough of them. Let's throw one in Pergamon. Philippolis. We have a handful of hospitals around in case of plagues. 2-3 waves of the plague. First and third are the worst. Okay. You guys are building lots of stuff over here too. Lumber mills. Try not to panic about it. France has become the naval hegemon again. What is going on, man? My phone is just like blowing up non-stop here. You know when you're like part of group chat and you just get hit with a million messages in a row? It always makes me be like, what is going on? All right, so I don't know what happened over in Asia, but it looks like they lost. Like Korea had like 100 ships. They do not anymore. We are still not a great power, but we're close. I'm hoping we could start pushing there soon. This colony... Is this all Itapakuru? I think it is. Yeah, why not? Why not? Okay. Nice to see all of this kind of got discovered pretty well. You guys are a new colony. You're still not the one I wanted though, right? Damn. The worst part about this is like, you know, if you join it, it becomes a town and gets all this stuff. I really should have let it, this town just get built first. Or I should have unlocked a tech that lets me like focus this town. All the others will come after at least, but it's just a shame. There's a bunch of like bad colonies there we could have had. Okay, we're now chartered the entire coastline. So America is Greek. There's no question about it. 10 prestige or 10 devotion. I will take 10 devotion. Prestige is way harder to get back. And I will then fund a bunch of cost of court. Pamlico. You gotta be kidding me. How did you beat them? Please. Please finish Chesapeake Bay. I need you to be my colonial nation. I'm so desperate. 3 towns lost. That's like 1,000 gold. An outrageous mistake. So I think I'll probably give Florida a bit of this land. Honestly, maybe I should start like a colony over here. So there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That might actually be safer. I'm not really looking forward to creating super colonies, so Caribbean Trade Navy. There we go. New colonial subject. This guy needs to be a admiral. Naval move speed's pretty good. Now, this fleet is also basically repaired. So I want them to patrol the Caribbean. I'm going to have somebody else have to do the coastline up here. I guess this doesn't matter because it's only if I own the territory. Otherwise, it's just up to my vassal state. America is now Greek, except for the First Nation people already there, but I'm sure they won't become an awkward political minefield in a couple hundred years. I mean, there's barely any of them. We've barely encountered any indigenous population up here. Surely it'll be fine. Kingdom of England is willing to give me a military sponsorship. Go on. take that. I'll take your $5 a month. Military sponsorships are just Twitch subs. This is what I'm starting to realize. Oh yeah, and we got to give this guy... Right, I can't give him territory until the war ends. Ugh. Alright, so... homies down in this market definitely have RGOs to be built. In not Athens, Guanbo. Oh, I'm way down the list. That's what's happening here. So I think if I click this, it just goes like from the top. Nah, it goes all over the place. Like if they're waiting on a ton of employees still, there's not really a point in focusing them first. Like I'd rather go to the places where it's like, hey, actually they have pops that would take these jobs. If jobs were to appear. I think the mass RGO creator is like okay, but not the best. Definitely got to make sure this lumber gets up. Okay. Good stuff. We now have access to the barracks. So all those armories back home can get upgraded. Which will supply us with a lot more extra people. Well, I guess the question I don't know is the barracks a one-time building, or does it also have levels in the same way that the armory does? The armory, which is currently 8 out of 7 here, because I think our population has been draining from Athens so much due to the mass migrations. Letting your colonies get too strong is a bad idea, leads to all kind of problems. Barracks has 7 levels, yeah. Whoa, okay. All right, hold on here. Oklahani is Oclafia and Nantico. Nantico is going to go to Chesapeake. They're going to kind of share this little jut here. I guess all 3 of these are still going to have to go to... Oh, this guy can only join Manhattan. For some reason, he can't join Pensacola. Same with this guy. So they're going to be both part of Greece. That's great. Can't wait to figure out the logic on that one. You know, if you're going to have markets here, they might as well be good. Aurora, Cores. Alright, so this guy's a pretty beefy nation now. I haven't really invested any money into him. And I hope he's okay with that. And I hope he doesn't get upset that we've been just completely ignoring him the entire game. I reckon he'll be fine. Control's still kind of a hot mess, especially up here. Yeah, that's all going to drop down to like 20. Why is our control so bad here? Because it's not core territory. Because it's 100% Bulgarian. You know what? We have a lot of Bulgarians. If I add you as an accepted culture, cultural capacity usage if accepted is 3.22. Is this 3.22 total? I have a lot of Bulgarians here right now. Not only that, they don't like me. And I'm probably going to end up eating the rest of Bulgaria. Like, they're 14% of my population right now. I actually think we should probably accept these guys. .51. The Corsicans are very small. They're only 1%, so I'm going to accept Bulgaria. And we're going to have to work on probably making them more us. Sas has become mostly Greek at this point, so let's start assimilating the Bulgarians. Oh, yeah. I see the problem. I see the problem indeed. I guess we'll start there and just start moving up. Are these guys 100% Bulgarian here? They are. Wow. Yeah, no wonder. No wonder we're having rebel problems up here. We own all of Bulgaria. We own all the Bulgarians, but they all hate us. So, bold assumption, we'd rather not be French. Isn't Canada still Englandish and French? They are still Englandish. France was like, we're gonna go Africa and go around. This is a lot of cores suddenly. Oh, I think we just cored all of these Bulgarian countries. Request funds. Austria, Bavaria, Verona. Let's take it from Verona. Confessionalism. For $1,000, I feel like I could probably be a big, fat, greasy RGO boy for $1,000. You know what I mean? Oh, I could be a big, fat RGO boy. You know what? Boom, 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 boom. Bam, done. RGO's expanded. Roads, still a bit of a problem. Control into the north, still a bit of a problem. Not really sure how to fix that. Probably some roads over here would be smart. Smart. Can I at least get a road to there? That would be good. Intercolonial trade. Establishing colonial subjects overseas that allows us to expand our trade while remaining in control. Yeah, this is fine. This is just the free trade event. When do... Whoa, 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 whoa. Duchy of Vungu. Peace offer. When do to Castile. Naples. Humiliate Vungu. Great. Okay. This is going to these guys. I want to also give them... this province. And that province. And is this province done? This province. Okay. All right. Superpowers. Big colonial superpowers. Colony of Wakama. Why can you only join Manhattan? You can join Paraguana. And if there ain't some nonsense, let's give you guys Wakama. Like, they're right next to it. I don't know why that wouldn't automatically give it to them. So I got to make sure that we build some stuff in here, like a wharf. A merchant's quarters. I'm going to want things like a coastal fort. Colonies in the Caracas. I think this is going to go to Orny. Yeah. Yeah, I made so many little mini colonial nations down here. Squibo is almost got its last little spot. Sunni missionaries? No way. Not gonna happen. Big colonial nation. Okay. Forget some people have problems making good decisions about politics. Facts. Definitely still the case today. I should probably explore this coastline. Actually, hold on. Can I sort by explorers? Yeah. Cheaper cost, but slower. Faster and faster. Let's go faster and faster. Tuscans are starting markets down there. I'm okay with it. We still get to end up being in charge of like all of the global trade here. This market is still like not making me a lot. I'm missing cannons, slaves, firearms, and cloth. Mostly it's like our pops have a ton of needs. In Athens, it's like we just need like luxury goods. Which is why Athens is also making an insane amount of money. But here, they're missing all sorts of stuff. This is some random courtier. Tell her to leave. There's our pikemen, which we need for the army. So question. We have slave markets and slave centers. Monthly enslavement 50. Monthly enslavement 20. Wealthy entrepreneurs come here to acquire interns, while raiders and pirates sell internships. Requirements are not met. Religious group is not Christianity. Aha. So we can build centers in other locations, but we actually can't build a market in our own territory, which is very, very hilariously confusing. I think I'm going to give Pensacola all these provinces as well. And then I'll start a new colony over here. Guilds want to be treated right. We can gain iron, we can gain trade advantage, or we can gain prestige. Let's gain trade advantage in our own home market. That was stupid. We already have so much trade advantage here. Something that might be worthwhile at this point is like barricading the Ottomans out of the Athenian market. But I don't really know that it's necessary. How are we on merchant quarters? Yeah, all of these give us trade capacity, so I'm going to build 6 more of them, I guess. Wow. That guy was like, I'm going to go explore the Labrador Sea. Immediately died. Just instantly died. Send out the other guy. Life in Labrador. Not the easiest time. All right. Well, the rest of this is still going. Oh, I guess that'll all be part of him. Yeah, so I think I'll just give Avalon Labrador then. And I'll have this other, like, internal kind of Quebec nation. It's crazy because there's also all this colonialization inland we can start doing. Actually, I can't explore that. But I could start exploring... No, I can't get into Lower Canada. Oh, fascinating. I think unless I create colonial charters, which cool, Manhattan is actually doing Wyoming on its own. Yeah, until we have proximity because they're not on the sea, I can't actually like go inwards. That's really cool. Oh yeah, and the money is cooking up now. Santiago is short of masonry. Do you have your tools? You have your tool guild, so I tell you what, we can actually turn off the trade here. I've been importing tools for a very long time. But this market could probably start taking care of itself again. He says, uncertain if that's really true. Clearly, you need a mason, so why don't we build that? You're going to need a stone quarry for a mason as well. Unless you use clay bricks, which I guess technically you have access to. Let's have him build some stone. There are like other locations out here with people, right? So having at least access to some basic goods on these little islands. It's probably not the stupidest idea. Yeah, okay. Minigane is going to join these guys. This is going to join the Avalon. It's all coming together. So that's 60% over there. Roads? Do I start working on roads again? Expand the paved road network. Yeah. I think that's what we're going to end up doing. Oh my god. If I increase naval infrastructure, we'll get 2 points towards naval and we'll push over 50 naval. This law must pass. I will lose a little research and push towards traditional. This also gives me very fast shipbuilding speed. So if I wanted to do something like expand on our boats, I could absolutely do that. I could also just like increase our trade fleets, which I also like the idea of. My expected naval size is 181, so we're actually kind of short of what we should have here. 2, 3, 4. Wow, these are pretty expensive. Fort maintenance is more expensive. Yeah, we can have that. Pope was Asian. He would look at your country and be like, "You're a great power yet? Tell me when you're a great power." Pope is just a disappointed father figure. Colony of Mokama. You will join Pensacola. I guess I'll let Georgia join Florida. Georgia, Florida, Alabama. That's a power state. We have an earthquake in Greece. Okay, and a dying empire. Our neighbors in Mali are paralyzed by crisis and decline. Their empire collapsing under rebellion and disorder. Their armies are stretched thin, their provinces slip from their grasp, and their leaders struggle to hold their court together. With the forces divided and their attention elsewhere, we have a rare opportunity. A swift campaign could secure key territories before they recover, but if we act too late, we may face a costly war. Cut down in size war on Mali. I don't have any interest in fighting these guys. I don't even know how to get in there, dudes. We will bide our time. I'm not picking random wars on the African continent for no reason. Tempting as that might be. So, question. Can you guys not build anything right now? What are you trying to build? Ah, the entrepot. Yeah, you'll get your masonry figured out. Do you have an entrepot? You should. You have a coastal fort. You should also have a dry dock. You're going to be where my main market is. Feel like hills and mountains debuffs are too harsh for like development? Excuse me. Or do you mean in combat? Because I know that like yeah, for development they have some like pretty rough butts. Oh my god. Oh my gourd. Oh my god, is our value over 50? Let's change our reforms. What are we getting rid of? Probably the plutocratic ethos. Yeah. I mean, it's that or capital economy, and capital economy is definitely very good for me. It's very hard to get capital economy. I should actually consider pushing that with a counselor. For development, 50% is way too much. Yeah, 65% in EU4. Makes you never want to play in the mountains. I mean, are there like reforms and stuff you can do to cut it down? I feel like there's got to be a ways around that. Change plutocratic effort to harbor administration. Wait, actually, could I change? No, because none of these are giving me marine. So if I change this guy, so now that we have 50 naval, we can take harbor administration, cheaper naval maintenance, and every owned coastal location gets -5 proximity through port and local development monthly cost 10%. Corruption will be reduced and commerce will thrive under structured supervision. So I mostly just want to see what this looks like on the old prox map over here. How much this will change. The answer is, I think, not very much. Sorry, I have to deal with this first. That's part of you a shot. Oh. Did it change at all? I'm genuinely not sure. I guess it needs to be implemented first. Yeah, oh, okay, my bad. My bad. Take time to implement, yeah. Should know better. God, so many colonies, so many colonies. Is this part of Georgia? No. So, fortunately, I'm not getting the one I want here. This guy gets that, though. So can I give both of these over to Chesapeake Bay? Wakaba? Santee. Is this complete? No. But that'll give it the entire lay of border. Yeah, we've got the coast. We got the coast on lockdown right now. Nice. And Manhattan has formed its own market, which is also fantastic for us. It would behoove us to do things like build them a market warehouse. And also a entrepot. An entrepot. Just so that their market is buff. Now, one of my greatest issues here is that all of those light ships have disappeared and automatically been assigned into a new army. They all went in with the big boys. So these guys are going to be... They're going to be another trade navy, but I just don't know where I'm putting them right now. They might be the African trade navy. I suppose. Look at them ship repair at sea. So I want them patrolling here, 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 and here. And then I actually think the Caribbean Trade Navy is currently doing those spots, so we're going to move them into the actual Caribbean. Shoot, what did I do here? I took the wrong navy, didn't I? Yeah, I did. Stupid. Caribbean Trade Navy stays in the Caribbean, because that actually makes sense. We're going to ignore Bermuda. And the Mediterranean Trade Navy is going to patrol the Mediterranean. All of it? I guess it could. Not entirely in love with that, but could be a start for right now. And this guy, we're going to build more pinnacles for. Just to make sure that we have everything up and running. Because we always be needing more boats. More fur and wild game output is nice. You guys are short on tools again. But you do make some. This poor guy's become temporarily insane. We'll do it on administration since he only has a 4 on that. Pirate Cairo. Open my production tab. Look at the center part of the upper side of the panel. Food? Goods. Find the employment system button. Employment system. First come, first serve. Equality. Traditional economy, 10%. Equality. Communalism. Most profitable. Capital. Infrastructure, then most profitable. Do I have to set this differently in every single market? Click and then read tooltips. I will never do such a thing. No, you select it once, it's everywhere. Oh, yeah, well, let's do that. All right, we've embargoed England again. What are you going to do? 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. You need 5 more boats. Dude, I can't believe, like, Athens is just making more and more money. Hand over fist. Right. These guys are done. They are on their own. These guys are done. They're on their own. These guys are almost done. I want to give them that territory. Did you guys build your own market as well? The old Pujig market. Love. I'm getting really beat out of my own marketplace here. I was hoping to have full market control up the coast, but what are you gonna do? We do at least have full market control most of the way. Wow, that sucks that we lost one market, but Nice. And this is going to be another new colonial subject. And we're going to start filling in people around it. Wherever we can. I really feel like we're losing a lot of pops. I know the number keeps going up, but it just feels like we're losing a lot of pops. Lutheran zealots are getting kind of cranky. Mostly over here. In Albania. Okay. I don't know if we can do anything about that. I could get around England going through the Hudson's Bay. It's a sneaky play. But I like the idea of it. Sneak around to the old Hudson Bay. Get in behind England. They're like, aha, we finally got a foothold. They move to Ontario and they're like, what? How are the Greeks here? How did the Greeks get behind us again? None of this makes any sense. Oh, this is a country. Oh, no, you're not. You're 97%. Lousy Naples. The matter of the native population is of a key concern to us. We must ensure that natives under our care are protected from hostile neighbors, become properly civilized, and practice the true faith. Our plan is to charge our colonists with this duty, wherein each colonist will be given a number of natives to tutor and protect. This is obviously not something that people will do for free, so the natives will provide a number of days' labor to our colonists. That's a strange system, but okay. Why not? Cabinet members. Rip. Ooh, you guys both have like 100%. Why don't I take one of you? Unless... Crown? No. Because I don't think we get crown cabinet members. We only basically get the Grand Master. And then the baby Grand Master. Many rulers can rely on the support of the clerics. Few have such strong supporters as we do. Stability and devotion. Excellent. Very excellent. We're back up to 100 devotion as well. And the money is just rolling in. How is Athens making so much money? Honestly, I don't know. I think it's because we're just able to trade so much. Yeah, this is exactly it. We're importing all the tobacco from the Mediterranean, and then we're selling it for like insane amounts of money. And then we're basically trading them slaves. Whoops. Whoops. We have a robust internship program. And we're you know, the Mediterranean really needs interns. And we have a lot of internships. So we're just sending them down here. And it's working out pretty well for us. If I was this market and I wanted to build RGOs. Ah, you can sort by total number of laborers available. That is handy dans. Because then you can actually see... Nope, this doesn't really make a lot of sense. Yeah, because like these places don't have laborers available, but they do have peasants available. Mostly it's just anything that has a full green circle I want to give upgrades to. Keep that economy sprawling. All right, and then also like we do need to look at like the towns. Guantanamo is finally ready to become a town. Something I've been trying to do for a really long time. And this guy's a town, but we haven't actually put anything in here. Goodness. You could have so much stuff. What do you guys really need? You need cannons, firearm, pottery cloth, and beer. All right, well, cannons. Beer. Firearms. I guess you're going to be my little military city. We'll throw a tar kiln in there to give those guys something to do. I'll probably build another coastal fort here as well, maybe. The thing is that coastal forts just like, they give us maritime presence, so they are valuable. Oh, and you have plantations. That's right. Plantations. Any one of these with extra room should definitely be upgraded. The Aziel market doesn't have enough. That's this market, right? Yeah, so you don't have enough naval supplies and tools in this market. My little city of Havana is here. Oh no, it's this city, and this is in a different market, right? Yeah, that's in the Mayapan market. Ah, I see the problem. Havana's not big enough either. What about Mabuya? Could you build a tool guild and a naval supply guild? That would keep them pretty busy. And heck, you can also build a script forum. Rocking it right now on maritime presence. Slow negotiations. That's fine. Not really an issue, because I don't think we have anybody we even need to be absorbing. At this time, at least. +1 push towards traditional economy is a pain. You had the 10 stab to just change it. Yep. It's making a lot more than the other major markets. I think so, and I think it's just because I have all of the goods coming to me, right? Yeah, I'm gonna have that join the Avalon. So that'll be the breaking point here. I like that. Right? Because like if you look at these markets, it's like, who has control of this market? I have 100% control of this market. This market is where all of the chili and everything is being made. So I can just send everything out of this market 100% back to Athens. And then I can buy 100% in Athens, pretty much. Internships. I mean, I don't have 100%, but I do have like an absurd trade advantage here. And as long as my trade capacity keeps going up, which it generally is, though. Can I build merchant quarters in other cities? Question mark? Oh, damn. I can. Bulgaria has insulted us. I'm not really worried about that. Oh, is this... Naples is in another war with Bulgaria? What's it for? To take Pleven. Which would be... Where exactly? Here. Actually, let's stop there. I made Burgas a town because I needed to build a castle over here, and then I forgot to build a castle. But I suppose a bastion, as it's now known as, because they also cost 1,000 gold. Whew. Okay. That's definitely news. So I'm going to do the classic thing that I did last time, which is I'm just going to take the thing that they want to take. Oh, cool. All of our guns just became bigger guns. But I need 800 bucks to upgrade them, so... They can probably wait until after this war is done. Alright, we're going to take the war goal. And we'll get some really nice upgrades for our army here now as well. Admiral of the Greek galleys. Old admiral here. We'll just grab anybody. Galleys are, you know, they're a little bit outdated at this point. Yeah, so this is really funny. He basically, he has a tiny hole through here that he can get through. So in order to get to this part of Bulgaria, he has to just cut through there and then go through all my lowland where there's no castles. It's his only way around. How profitable is Venice and the other major ones? Well, in Venice, Verona makes 100 gold. I make 625. What about like Paris? Paris is making 340. Burgos, 90, 130, 191, 200 in Barcelona. There's like 200 in Barcelona is probably the biggest one. Lubeck 150. Ooh, wow. Sorry, Prague is making 592 here. But also, like, Prague prints gold, and gold is somehow the greatest thing that they need, so. Pest is also making crazy money. Mostly from gold. Who would have guessed that gold would make so much money? Certainly not I. Homie, where are you going? That's your plan? No, you don't have a plan. You're just marching wildly. Kind of want to drop this siege and move over, or like split this siege, but splitting your army is just the biggest pain in the arse in this game. So I don't think I'm going to do that. We're halfway through the Rage Reformation. We have everything that, like, we basically could embrace everything. Let's go to Tarnovo and see if we can't get the capital this time. I think we probably can. Can build forts in rural as well. I don't think you can build a fort in rural. No. Definitely you can't. There's no military tab here. It's got to be a town. The realization I am having is I don't need Burgas if I take something like Schumann. La 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 la. I'm okay to just like sit on a ton of money right now. If needed. These guys also still need 5 more boats though, so. The money goes fast. Found a setting that you can change when you're starting a game, letting you change into every religion that you have in your country. So you're trying to form Zoroastrian Persia? That's a very fun setting. Oh, look, that very much, thank you. We are experiencing a pretty bad winter here in Bulgaria. Not really something the Greeks like dealing with. Siege of Tarnovo is successful. Part of me is just feeling like Naples is sitting there being like, no, no, no. If you're not going to declare war on these fellows, I'll declare war for you. I absolutely insist that Bulgaria gets wiped off the map. Guys, can you all stop dying? Very inconvenient for me. How are we doing in this war? Should I start suing for separate pieces and just saying like Bulgaria becomes a vassal? 125. I'm actually not far off that. I could landlock them. I don't have enough to just like take it on my own. Our spies have discovered a good bureaucrat. Devotion, prestige, or tradition. We'll take prestige. Set the clergy there because we're maxed out with clergy. You guys are almost done this integration, which is great. Absolutely ridiculous roads. Burghers are building paved roads, which is really nice. I guess that's something I could spend all this money on. How close do you think we are to the next Curia? Still like 2 years. That would be really good if we could do like a paved roads and then just start building them everywhere. But honestly, man, look, the burghers are building paved roads all over the place. Which I am very, very happy with. The Pope has decreed that the native people of the colony shall not be made into slaves. The belief that they are lesser brutes and capable of receiving God's grace, he writes, is a vile lie spread by the enemy of the human race. Instead, His Holiness insists that, like all ensouled human beings, these people yearn for God's light, and that therefore all pious princes should make haste to spread Catholic faith among them. What the Pope doesn't know can't hurt him. Pop conversion speed 3% in all my colonies, or raw material output 5%. I mean, what's it looking like over here? Yeah, all right. I'll take. I'll enforce the Pope's will. We are the Teutons. The Teutons. We're not the Teutons. We are the Hospitalier. So I guess it makes a little bit of sense. few more colonies over here for Coxia. And we will keep blowing that up. Colony of Paramibu. You were meant to be part of a Squeebo. I don't know why it's not letting me just give that over. Sometimes it's really, really weird where they choose. Like, they wanted me to give that to Paraguana, which is way over here. That wouldn't make any sense. Well. All right, lads, what's going on with this war? Colony of Labrador is going to join the Avalon. Exodus Dice. Flintlock Levy armies. We've finished integrating Tarnovo. Do I have any other integrations to do? No. That's so good. Corsican Patriots. Corsicans are not happy that we started discriminating against them again. Halberds. No. We're like past halberds at this point. Naval supply workshops, weapon workshops. What do... I want to start getting ready for Egypt. They're the next big step. Right? So, like, military tactics is valuable. We just unlocked a ton of military stuff as well. You know, there's a lot of economy to also be done. We do have cavalry, which could become nice lancers. Having more advanced privateers. We have privateers everywhere right now. Port authority building. Trade capacity to owner local market protection. Hi, yeah, I'm gonna need that. Correct section chance. Meh. Pistolier, regular regiments. There's so many options. All right, let's start with those. Finish off this lousy Bulgarian war. Siege of Schumann. I guess he's conquering that. All the rest of this is ours. That's it. So I'm going to just retreat back into our territory at this point. And I'm going to say upgrade all of these guys to Arquer Bruisers. Which I believe is going to give us a pretty massive power jump. Yeah, I think so. Most absolutely it did. The other thing I want to do is we don't have any pikemen in here. So I've been thinking at least 3 of these to reinforce the front of this army. I think I'd like 2 sets of pikemen though out front. We can request another cardinal seat. I really don't know if this is even worth doing, but I guess... Why the hell not? Thessalonica has been a pretty capital location for us. There we go. We're getting up against France for cardinal seats right now. think it's like 5 to 8. And I'm going to need like another 1,000 to get those other 3 pikemen. Ooh-wee. Anybody got money for me? Money, 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 money. Request funds? Yes. Many of you have money, in fact. Duchy, Castile, France. Hungary. Let's take it from Castile. And then grab 3 more pikes. Almost 3 more pikes. So our navy size is the proper size. We don't have an expected army size, which is kind of curious. There's our map of Hudson's Bay. It's just non-stop. It's non-stop, the amount of stuff. So, Keewatin, Eastern James Bay, Western James Bay, Nunavik. I guess Eastern James Bay. Ooh. Cool. So I now actually have to use people from the New World to explore. I can't just pull people from Sus anymore. It's too far. Which is kind of tricky. Because we don't really have that many goods over here. I have just enough. We gain a firm hand for 10 years. Subject income increased. Colony of Bedi. Here's your military tactics. These guys join them. Somehow my trade navies are like picking up transports occasionally as well. It really needs a population here. You know, for what's meant to be. I suppose a university would attract people. So would a cathedral. If this is going to be like my center of trade, I need it to be strong. We are over our cultural capacity. How is that happening? Is it because we're wiping out all of Bulgaria, or because we're about to absorb all of Bulgaria? Okay, and you guys are pikemen. Really annoying. You can't actually tell like the difference between pikemen and regular troops without hovering over them. So let's put you guys there, you guys there. Pikemen, 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 pikemen. You guys there, you guys there. So each flank has 2 pikemen. Each row has 2 pikemen and then a bunch of guns. The flanks have heavy cavalries and regular cavalry as well. We are a fair bit weaker than them. We have an equal-sized army, but oh my god, their manpower pool is humongous. They have double our population. No navy. Somehow I have more levies than them, which is really curious. And I imagine our levies are a lot stronger because I suspect... This is a bit of a guess, but I suspect we have a higher tech rate. I would definitely suspect that. Their literacy is like 20. Our literacy is 30 to 40 plus. Wow, look at Bohemia going. 57 in Bohemia. 73 in this little random place up here. No, that's because like no peasants live there. All right, we're still one of the more literate places of the world. All things considered. Why do these guys have such a need for naval supplies? Construction of plantations, dry docks, and wharfs. Okay, that's fine. They'll slowly bring stuff in for that construction. You guys are building guild halls. You guys are building barracks. Ooh. That's nice of you. That'll get my manpower number up. I don't understand what Bulgaria, okay, has left in this war. Okay, this time, Naples took everything. Gave me nothing. And forced a royal marriage between Bulgaria and Naples. Huh. Huh. Perhaps I got in on the wrong side of that war. All of our cabinet is purple. That's insane. Literally as strong as it possibly could be. Alright, I'm gonna have this guy just crack down on rebels over here. Control has managed to wind its way up the whole path. Proximity to capital is bad, but control is still okay. Yeah, right. Those are some angry Lutheran zealots. But they're getting less angry. So I guess I just basically have military sponsorships against with everybody already. I mean, I suppose as like the major powers have started gathering up more territory. Like all of these guys are probably sponsoring me already. Dum, 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 dum. I guess also as I've been like feeding them things like pike and shot and other innovations. I mean, I guess it goes both ways, but... What is confessionalism give us? Pop conversion speed, power projection, rights of the clergy. Temptation. I could start curbing the clergy's power. I'd also get access to brigs. And other boats. Galleys. Other galleys. 5% discipline for the never-ending crusade. 20% colonial maintenance. Free colonies. Plus 1 possible government reforms. Okay, that's huge. 10% crown power. Okay, that's also huge. Nature of our faith. Tolerance of heathens. Or morale recovery speed. A Supreme Court, which will give me more crown power. Reduced rebel growth. Oh, okay. We gotta take this. I've been sitting around like wondering what to start researching. Don't know that I want this one right away. Why can't I not take church and state? You have to be a folk religion. No, I have to not be a folk religion. Tell you what, take that, take the Supreme Court. +1 cabinet seats, also really good. Cheaper roads. More lumber output, so cheaper construction. Well, I just queued up like 11 things. After trying them out, how do you like the colonization mechanics in this one? They're pretty good. I think they start really, really slow because you're trying to colonize into Africa where there already are a lot of people. And so, like, to get colonies in Africa takes a really long time. It's actually why these little islands were so nice. Nobody lived here, so we colonized it super fast. And then nobody really lived here in comparison, so we also managed to colonize a lot of this area really quickly. I like that you are... that the game, like, wants you to make these colonial missions. Like, that it kind of tells you, like, oh, you'll do better if you give charge of this over to somebody else, you know? You're gonna have a better time. It's also interesting how it just, like, you know, it does, like, suck the manpower out of your nation. But also there's other things, like, I can't actually explore past Manhattan right now because this is not, like, it's up to them to explore inland. But it's also up to them to, like, go to war with the natives if they so want. And that's kind of cool. That's impassable. That's impassable. That's impassable. That's not. And that's not. Well, I guess the Avalon is the coastline and you're the interior then. You know, I am, like, population draining all of my capital cities. So I do weaken Athens by doing this over and over again. But it's also like so much money comes back. Like, this is actually giving me a starving problem in Athens right now. Which is clearly not true. I'm making 233. I don't know why it's saying that. I think my favorite thing that I've, like, slowly learned how to do more of is just looking at these, like, market building sections and just being like, okay, well, what do we need? You know? What can we start to build here? How is this in our territory? Because it's clearly not, right? That's Genoan. I would be very broke if I built any of those slave centers. I want to look at this market. I want to say production. I want to say, like, what are we short on the most here? And then it's like, what can we build? The answer is, like, not really a lot, so I better be careful about how much I build anything here. You're building a brewery already. Why don't you build a winery then? You can expand that plantation. guy already has like 6 things queued up. I think reality is just like, I probably need more towns over here now. And there's a few places we could be building them, so. Cocoa, gold, iron. Building a town on iron seems to make some sense. It's an inland town as well, so let's have him get upgraded. Played a tall colonial Scotland and realized Scotland does not have the population to sustain colonialism in the Americas. That makes sense. You lost 500 pops a month to the colonies. Whoa. Yeah, I mean, I don't really know how many we're losing, which is part of the tricky thing. This guy wants a city to become a town. Religious education, religious art. Clerics and peasants following your faith gain pop satisfaction. I always love this one just because it gives you a bunch of literacy. You know, not for a ton of months, but... Dry docks do make for better harbors, and better harbors does make for, like, better maritime. Current power is at 28%. I am also just starting to think about, like, how do we curb power and put more power towards the crown. We're at rank 11 right now, so we're very close to actually becoming a great power. I'll just take the literacy. For right now. Who's got money? Is it Daddy France? He does. I love my Daddy France money. I guess let's... Our geo builder here. Burn through a bunch of that. Too much. Akosia. A new market down here. Oh, that's kind of fun. We can start seeing a Tuscan group on the south side of the Amazon jungle. A group known for their radical ideas regarding religious reforms is condemning the church and the rallying of the public. We are Catholic and will always be Catholic. I think that's the answer. Sorry, homies, but we are literally the Knights. Like, we are the Knights Hospitalier. Of course we're Catholic. All right, I have cracked down on Turkish Patriots for quite a while here now, and they're down to like 60%. So maybe we can just start like converting people. The Lutherans only have like one major stronghold, and it's over there. So maybe also let's just convert that. And we might solve us some issues. Does it make that much money? How are the colonial nations paying you a lot? I was wondering about that because all the trade income for valuable goods goes to the colonial nation. So they are transporting. Here's the thing, right? Like, if there's a colonial nation, it's like producing corn. But it's producing so much corn that corn is not valuable to them. So they sell it to markets and they mostly sell it to me. And then I sell it throughout Europe for a bunch of money. Like, that's generally how it goes. $200, lose 5 support. Lose 10 prestige. I'll take 5 support for $200. Yeah, I mean, like, honestly, not a lot of people are trading from here at all right now. They're also not making a lot. Currently, there's little to no trade profit being made over here. I don't know how it works. I would believe that they would start trading stuff out or providing us with trade value. I know for Guanyabo, because this is like all our territory. So in this marketplace, like, we make all the money that comes out of here. And we also have full market control. So everything that we send out of here basically just goes into the Athens marketplace. Like, what I should actually be doing here is only selling to Athens. Because then Athens would have a big surplus of things that it wants. But we're kind of going free trade. So we're kind of just saying you can sell to whatever market needs it the most. You get something like preferential trade with colonial markets, like extra trade advantage. I mean, that's what people were saying. They were saying, like, you get something like trade advantage or trade efficiency. But I'm really not seeing that anywhere here. So I'm not sure exactly how they make us money. The Athenian market has crashed. It's gone from making $600 to 350. Who can't get enough food here? I don't understand. You say people can't get enough food. I also have a ton of very disloyal subjects. No representation. What does this mean? Colonial representation law. Right. Oh my god. And we still have this vassal. Everyone is disloyal to us. Not very good. The War of Religions. After several decades of religious strife, dissent over the correct practice of Christian worship in the Holy Roman Empire has reached a point where armed conflict between the Protestant Union and the Catholic League seems impossible to avoid. While these organizations of imperial princes are mainly concerned with the protection of respective faiths, many leaders in Europe look to the turbulent empire with greedy eyes. Whether it be charged with religious fervor or worldly desires, the mightiest powers of Europe are preparing their armies for a fight as the peace of the empire hangs in a delicate balance. Currently, it is Bohemia versus the entire HRE. We are not a member of the Holy Roman Empire, so we don't actually have anything to say here. But good to know that's happening. I mean, I guess the Reformation is also still going. But it's going to be done soon, depending on how this ends. How does this end? Either side has enforced religious supremacy. The Peace of Westphalia has been signed due to 80% of the war participants desiring peace. Or it's the Age of Revolution. Reduce base vassal loyalty by a lot and put it into the decentralization value in order to make it more viable compared to centralization. I am very centralized. And I'm very centralized because it was the obvious choice. All right, that's the last colonial charter we need there. Just get a little bit of Costa Court there going. Just a little bit of growth. Okay. I mean, I'm sure they'd be happier if I pumped a bunch of money into them. Maybe. You guys all have people to work these RGOs. So I'm gonna let you work them. Because it's easy money. This is one of these funny things as well that, like, you know, going for a traditional economy versus a capital economy. I am trying to push towards capital economy right now, but it does feel like if you have a ton of RGOs, just focusing on traditional economy might be able to power you through a lot more. Like, I think if you're playing as China, focusing on traditional economy might actually be better. Hard to say for certain. So these guys are about to become a town. That's fantastic. Ba, 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 ba. What do you want as a town? You don't have any burgers, I guess. That'd be nice. I guess let's build a mason in here. Ah, there we go. Now the burgers are starting to come in. Maybe we could do some jewelry. This is technically a iron mine here, so... Ooh, honestly, a tool guild would go really hard. Jewelries use gold. You know what, man? Cancel that jewelry guild. Put a tool guild in here. This gold mine could also become a town. Almost could become a town. Castile is at war with Maya. Maya who? Maya here. Oh! Maya haha. They're trying to take Itza. I'm gonna decline. Mostly because I don't want you over here, even though you are my allies. Nipla, hello. It's a cool change, though. It makes sense that a state with many vassals all around the globe would be more decentralized. Yeah, absolutely. It makes sense, right? Build some granaries to increase pop in those colonies. That's a really good idea. Granaries. No. Granaries. That's a very good idea. I always forget that you can do that. I should also maybe start considering things like roads down here. So I guess we're doing pretty good on maritime presence. Homeland's on lock. What happened here? Why did they take this one little spot with fur inside of it? So Bulgaria is also like locked into a marriage union now? Oh, no, I guess they're not. Bulgaria is guaranteeing subjects of Greece. They have a royal marriage with Naples. Okay. It's just not a union. Noted. All of my cabinet members are like these glitched out indigenous faces. It's very, very funny. Love to know what's going on over there. port authority building. You just built another... Damn, England? You are much further along in here than I thought you would be. I thought I was going to be able to sneak in here and steal Canada from you, and I see now that that is not the case. I think I might just have to give up on Canada. You need a port authority there. And I'm going to need a port authority in Athens. It looks like I can build these basically anywhere, though. Which is nuts. I know they're kind of expensive, but like... considering what they give me. Like, they're not an upgraded building, right? They're just a building on its own. So that's just more trade value for me. Downside of holding it yourself, I think colonial nations get a gigantic pop growth boost. Yeah. I'm not sure whether or not they count towards things like my total populations either. Get a feeling like they maybe don't. Come on, Castile. Why are you so eager to fight all these people? Yeah, what is going on? I'm down to like 260 bucks here now. How has it happened that we are struggling so badly to make money again? Spending all this money on lacquerware. I think I need to set up trades so that I am specifically only trading with Athens. Even if it's at a cost of this market. So why are you doing that and that? Oh, I was trying to get printing presses earlier. But I think I want to take the Guanyabo and I want to say, like, no automation. I could import some stuff, but I don't think I really will. I just want to export stuff to Athens.
Giving up on Canada. Luckily, I arrived just in time, so I can send a telegram via ship to your legislative representative. How lightly you let it go. No more maple syrup for you. Disenfranchised.
No. I mean, we still have the important parts of Canada. We still have Newfoundland. We still have PEI. And Labrador. I can't say anything that we're... Can I set up my own trade, or can you only do suggested trades? This is terrible. I really thought I'd be able to import just a bunch of stuff over. And I can't. I'm trading a bunch of stuff to Esquibes. This is all imports for government needs. Saying like, here are the best trades I could make. Go through the goods screen. You can import anything available from available markets. Okay. So you're saying if I go production goods, and I say like the good stuff like chilies, select market to export to, and then I say I could export to like to Santiago, but I feel like obviously to Athens would be the best one for me. So that's 19 versus like 26. Yeah, it is a significant amount of less money. But what I want to do is I want to get these goods into the Athenian market. So that's open market, set trade. That's that market. For chilies, you also make cocoa, export to Athens. You also make turbacis, export. Yeah, Athens like desperately needs tobacco. So now if I go to the economy trading tab, I can see, yes. Okay, so now that I've got these set up, I can also adjust, like, put them at like 2.5. 2.5. Probably just take that trade out entirely. Oops. Boom, 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 boom. So this is all of our like spicy goods. Oh shoot, actually I should have cotton in here. And probably maize as well. So if I go maize, export. Right, like this is the whole reason why we have an absurd marketplace over here. Like cotton is the other rare good. I also have amber over here. Shoot, man. Okay, export amber to Athens. We're gonna have to figure this out. For right now, just send a little bit of it. Trade thing is convoluted, but it does eventually work. I feel like there should be an easier way, right? Zoroastrian has no flavor at all. Guess won't play them until they get some. Definitely not what they would think on the focus. It's definitely Zoroastrian is more of a Crusader King sort of thing. Where's cotton? Cloth. Sugar. Cotton. I mean, we hardly need that at all over there. All right, let's put them all at like 1. And then we have like a little bit left. I tell you what, why don't we put the rest at like auto trade? Because it's going to need some ability to apply that. And then the other thing I'd really love to do is I would actually love to say in Athens, because what do we need over here the most, right? We need, that says cloth. But I feel like in Athens we have internships. Can I export internships to Guayabo? Guanyabo. Not a crazy amount, but like a regular amount. Because then I can also just start saying like Guanyabo plantations, buildings, plantations. Yeah, so like we don't have enough people to be working these plantations right now. So if I start importing some interns, we'll be okay with that. Definitely returning to later DLC or patch, but aren't in the scope of it for now, as far as I can understand. Yeah, yeah. They were op in EU because of the one monument. Sometimes that's all it takes is like one broken monument. It just needs a moment to actually exist, right? Yeah. And hopefully that will improve things. I really don't know if it will. I really also don't know, like, who is starving here? Is there a food map? Province food. Ah, Castamanu. I think I need to release these guys. Let them be devoured. The Ottomans are up against the Jalarids right now, which is a fun time for them. And we're just going to keep doing what we do best, babies. Looking at the whole interface and thinking, man, this guy's spreadsheet is messed up. So messed up. Oh, God, our trade really did like tank quite a bit from that, though. Sorry, you are not a admiral. Unhappiness among the peasants. Yeah, they can be unhappy for a little bit. Is there a Shia Sunni split in EU5? I didn't really take a look. Yeah. There certainly is. It's not a huge one in our game, but it do be there. How's this war going? Are these guys actually at war? No. Whoa. Also, they own a bunch of, like, Denmark. In Oman, yeah. I bet he pretty much gone by that time. There's little peaks of it sticking its noses out. La 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 la. Trying to squish together some of my navies here, so that my transport fleets are actually with my transport fleets. I wonder how big these guys are going to have to be in order to move my entire 26k. We are a fair bit weaker than you. You have less regulars now, though. It's just that he has so much manpower. Selling of indulgences. Yeah, I'm not going to do that. And we'll do that, though. And I will do that. And I will do that. Time to upset people with privateers. We are funding so many privateers. But also, we're a massive empire, so why wouldn't we? Or I should say a massive kingdom. We're not quite an empire. Not until the Holy Roman Emperor falls can we take that title. Wonder how Castile's war is going. Pretty good by the look of it. He's got 90,000 troops and they have 5,000. I think he'll be okay. Something tells me he's gonna be fine. I don't think he has work. Greek slave uprising. Come on now. We don't have that many Greek slaves. We're a good Christian country. France. I guess 2. Mali. No thanks. Don't really see the benefit in that one. Still not really getting what we need in here. There's 10% pop conversion speed. Some of the music in this game is just so good. It gets in my soul. Even though we've heard it 1,000 times. Just gonna max out all of these. Even if it's expansive. Build, thank you. Stop inviting me to your crusades. Just because you're giving me all this money all the time doesn't mean I want to help you. Papal States, give me $500. Let me put that to no good use. Try building some roads. See, I think one of the really funny things about this is that, like, normally you would build a bunch of stuff around your capital, a bunch of cities, and you would kind of focus in trying to build up that as much as possible if you're playing centralized. But we're really not doing that, which is tricky. Intervene in a rival war. Ooh. Go on. Egypt is fighting the Ottomans through their homie, the Tassinids. And the Ottomans are just fighting the Jalarids. The Ottomans are actually... So the question here is about the strip of land that leads me into Egypt. I just don't think I want to be involved in this. I also think it's not good for our economy. I don't know where all our money is going. How we got, like, so brutally crippled out. Yeah, I don't know that bringing all this spices and stuff in is actually valuable to us, because we produce so much already in Greece is the problem. That I don't even necessarily have the trades to be sending like cocoa and stuff around. Saltpeter, beer, and tin. Wow. Everybody loves us because we're so cool. Did a really good job with the music. Pain is Salvation is an absolute banger. Salvation. I think everything except the like la 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 one everyone generally likes. Look at this. These guys are colonizing all on their own. So is Manhattan. My babies. They're all growing up so fast. That's impassable. That's impassable. That's impassable. Is this passable? No. Is this explorable? From the sus market? I mean, we might as well. Oh, wow. That also explores all of Baffin. Cool. I wonder if maybe I shouldn't also explore these pathways, just because otherwise to get to Avalon we have to go like all the way up. I don't know if that matters, but it might. Dude, why am I losing 3,000 pops a month? Is this all to colonization? Okay, no, it's fine. We're fine. Everything is fine. There's no problems. We're all good. Milan is having a little civil war over there. More colonies. I was gonna have him join Kosikia, but I guess they are technically closer to the Pensacola capitals, so all right. Big Florida it is. Big old Florida it is. England? Who are you fighting? The indigenous? That's pretty rude, dude. Just because they're a bunch of heathens doesn't mean we have to just like march in there and murder them all. They could be friends. Yeah. Okay, we have some imports here. Manhattan is sending us tobacco. Guanyabo is sending us dyes. Is that true? No. So I guess we also see like trades that the burgers are doing here. Interesting. Interesting. We've got a little bit further down the coast here. Is there any good materials in? I mean, nothing crazy. I'll let one more colonial charter go. Just one more colonial charter, man. That's all it's gonna take. I swear it'll start paying off eventually. Woof. What did I even find up here? Oh, is this like the Labrador Highlands? Oh, I guess probably, yeah. Alright, man, just 2 more colonial charters. I swear to God, after that I'll stop. 17 more colonial charters, I swear. I can stop building colonial charters at any time. Damn, dudes. You're in a war without the Overlord. Are you in a war without me? Do you need my help? Doesn't look like it. I did build you some pretty nice military buildings for the record, mister. Every now and then I even do things like fund you masons. Coastal forts. Lutherans? How did they get across here? Oh, those sneaky Lutherans. Temples would be smart. I guess this is one thing, is like you don't have to worry about control as well. Because they'll have their own capitals, so they'll have their own procs from capitals. Oh look, here comes Castile on its little crusade. Which I guess it does own a bunch of this territory, so they must have found something out. They found some way to get in over there. Guanyabo, you are still massively missing pops. What if I built you a university? It's kind of crazy, but I also kind of like it. Guantanamo, you have become a real place. So I'm going to build you a coastal fort. I still feel like this is like RGO centric is probably what I should still be doing here. Though I'll also be real, we're like not got a lot of RGOs left. These are all tied to population, so until your pops get up, you can't build too many of these. A lot of fish. Lot of fish. All right, good luck, Castile. I'm leaving you in charge of that. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe these trades are not a good idea. I could be making way more selling to other places. Certainly, like, maize to Athens is not really doing me much. What happens if I cancel it all out? Where do they move everything? Well, currently they're still selling a lot of it to Athens, but I don't think that's going to stick. I think that's just like waiting for the tick over. It rarely seems like it makes a lot of sense to not automate everything. You know, it's nice when you can get in things like rice, whatever, things you need, especially for like inputs. Yeah, like these guys need to start saying trade in for sturdy grains. In Athens, it's ridiculous. The need for sturdy grains is out of control. We need like 1.35. So where do I see like how much you actually move? We can ship 1.35 with 1.82. Now, will I actually get that? I guess that depends on my trade control. You also want rice. You get a fair bit of that from Genoa. I feel like the Genoan market we maybe have decent control in. Yeah, we have very good control over there. $1.99, which is what we need. So take that, take that. Cloves, pearls, and ivories are much trickier. Pearls are showing up. And this is from Guanyabo. Can I not create that trade? Thank you. So we're obviously getting them from somewhere here. Game feels like it's starting to struggle a little bit on these. Yeah, so I don't need that amber. But those pearls I'll take. Cloves and rice I'll take. We'll stop the slave trade. So how much are you actually getting is my next question. Seems like the answer is not enough. But is it ever enough? Not really, no. So we want 199. But we're not getting that? This says using all of my 100% trade capacity. Shouldn't that be enough then? This still says 1.8. This 1.8 does not equal this 1.8. Is that what you're telling me? Or is this saying that this number is going to go down as long as that trade is coming in? 1.79. 1.81. How is that value going down as I increase this number? That's my other question. Surely if they have these massive stockpiles, we can spend more money trading in more of this stuff. He says somehow importing twice as much rice and it's still being not enough. Come on, market automation. Help me out here. There we go. Okay, so sturdy grades is fine. That rice number is going down. So I think this was it. It's just like I needed to build up a stockpile. God is good. Tolerance for all. my god, and we unlocked an extra government reform. So good. Whew. Okay. Let's look at the government reforms. Do any of these have crown power? Loyalty of subjects. That would help us with the fact that all of our subjects hate our guts. I don't think we really need any more colonial expansion. I think we're past that point. Oh, what are you? At least 50% naval, we can take administration of shipyards. Proximity cost through ports -2. Monthly progress to naval. Each owned coastal urban location gets 0.1 harbor capacity. Okay, well, you're probably, without a doubt, what I'm taking. Weapons quality standard will at some point in the future be lost as it requires 50 towards quality, and this change causes progress to head in the opposite direction. I see. Let's take administration of shipyards. No brainer. Prox cost through ports. The more we get that down, the better. Also, just like harbor capacity. Also, progress towards naval, which increases our maritime presence everywhere and our trade range. It's pretty obvious. Now that Muscovy is gone and divvied up your subjects, your literacy is 82% and you're at peace. Whoa. Go for the revolution. Seems like not a bad idea. If you're doing that strong. Temptation. You know what, man? I'll put a university in Rhodes. Why not? What do you want for it? Spiritualist ideas? Sure. Sold. Thanks, homies. I'll take it. My navy needs to be bigger. I think. A bunch of these are early Carracks still. Yeah, you guys need some upgrades. Just gotta build some more boats. Bulgaria joins another coalition against Greece. What's going on here, Bulgaria? It looks like you're getting destroyed by Hungary. You sure are. I guess Naples did not come to your defense. My real question is why didn't Hungary invite me into this war? We're no longer allies. When did that happen? Hungary and I are homies. Of course we're allies. Hungary, Naples, Castile. Yeah. Amazing that Aragon still lives. That's one thing that I can't seem to get over here. Papal States making like lower African markets. I don't really know why you get a notification of that. Like if that's not something you have vision on. I guess because I have the Seaway. Still funny though. Temptation. Does it ever get old? I'm not sure. I'm sure it must. Deep down, I'm sure it must. Oh my goodness. All right. We'll take devotion. We'll take this guy dying. Hungary has called us into this war now as well. Which unfortunately I will have to join. So I'm gonna not actually do anything. Because it's just kind of a pain. And there ain't no good reason for it. Sure, man. You guys can all have food access to the old Greece. To the old greasy boys. Realizing that this gold up here is not in my market, is it? No, it's in Terranovo. Oh, I would love for that Terranovan market to be destroyed. I would also love to know what happened with our bubble. Right? Like Bohemia's still making 500 bucks. These guys are still making 400 bucks, but I'm back down to 200. What happened to our trade? How did it get crippled this badly? We still have a massive need for rice. Guanyabo still has a massive need for basically everything. Okay, Bulgaria is destroyed. Almost. They still own an extremely small amount of territory. Part of me just wants to cast a spell by them. Are you still Orthodox? You are. Like, I could go in there and take Naples. Or take Naples, take Terranovo, and then destroy it as a marketplace. I don't know what would happen. I think Theodora would end up taking a lot of it. Pest would definitely take a big chunk. It's hard to say, man. Our market, like, puts serious pressure out, so... Opinion improvements kept at maximum if paid dividends. Yeah. Defensive pact with Bohemia and Austria stands firms. Opinion improvements are really, really strong. It's very hard to, like, find yourself in too much of a fight with people, I find. If you don't want to be. That's the only building that gives me crown power, is it? Counting houses. I guess what I could do is I could just start building these everywhere. There's actually not that many I can even build. But they would chunk up my my chapter power. All right, we'll think about it. Right now, I'm feeling like we've managed to get this whole coastline. We did lose just kind of the entrance into Canada, which is a bit of a shame, but I'm not surprised. Obviously, like, that's the hardest place for us to have gotten to. We did get the entire American coastline. Literally the entire American coastline. We own the entire Caribbean, and we also have, like, the entire northern part of South America, except for these two little Napoli colonies that also snuck in here. So I'm feeling pretty good about our colonization efforts in general. I think that these should start paying dividends. I just don't understand when or how exactly, but we'll figure that out. But I think we'll have to do that in the next episode, because that's all the time we got for this week. It's going to be it for me. I hope you come back and join us soon in the next one. Until then, bye-bye.